Welcome to another edition of A Week of Mass Shootings. 14 mass shootings were reported from April 29th through May 5th, giving us 147 mass shootings so far in 2024. 5 were injured, 2 critically, in a shooting at a bar in Huntsville, Alabama. A gang shooting in Long Beach, California, injures 7, 4 critically. 6 teens were shot in Buffalo, New York parking lot. 1 was killed. 1 was killed and 3 injured in an overnight shooting in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Over 150 shots were fired in a Birmingham, Alabama shooting, leaving 1 dead and 6 wounded. A fight at a Detroit, Michigan park injures 4, all under the age of 18, including the shooter. 6 were shot at a Westbury, New York birthday party, and 4 were shot at a Queens, New York baby shower. And here's news clippings from 6 more mass shootings.
Also, the news now, fists fly at a South Florida high school, and the chaos wouldn't stay contained to the campus there. Bullets would later fly when parents got involved in a fight nearby, resulting in 5 people being shot. Night Team's Gail Levy is at Miami Norland Senior High School in Miami Gardens right now. Gail.
Well, Craig, it was a scary situation on campus Monday. That's when a brawl broke out behind those gates. Then later on, parents got involved, and that's when shots were fired. But tonight, we are taking a closer look at those fights that broke out on and off of campus. Commotion on the campus of Miami Norland Senior High on Monday. Watch as these two are throwing punches and pulling hair. You can even see school security working to stop the brawl.
What? Get hit!
Then more of the same just blocks away.
Shooting 1411 Northwest 197th Street.
When parents got involved, police say someone pulled out a gun and started shooting.
We have 5 victims, 3 adults, 2 juveniles.
Miami Gardens police responding to a report of shots fired around 4 Monday afternoon in the 1400 block of Northwest 197th Street. But police say the problems leading up to shots fired started on the high school's campus, where Miss DeLauder's grandson goes.
Thank God I could come pick him up.
Her grandson told her about these fights caught on camera.
That is not good. That's not good. And that's happening more, I think.
I just saw everyone running to the part over there where the fight was.
That student saw the 2 girls fighting and then others getting involved.
I just didn't know what to do. Like, I just stood there and then looked, and then everyone else was just recording.
Fighting after the final bell, and then parents were brought into the mix.
2 parents got into an altercation, and at some point, someone shot fired.
The 2 teens and 3 adults hit by gunfire are all expected to be okay, and so far, no arrests. At this point, no word on why the fighting began in the first place.
As tonight at 11 o'clock, I'm Siobhan Bryan. Vigils and remembrances continue after one of the most violent shootings in our country's history involving law enforcement. Tonight, in the heart of Uptown, a candlelight service to honor those we lost. And WBTV's Ron Lee was there. He joins us now live from Marshall Park. Ron, it must have been a tough thing for everyone there to go through, just to relive all of this over again.
Not just for the people in attendance, but also for the officers and law enforcement who were out here as well. It was a beautiful and very moving experience. One people here hope they never have to go through again. I was born by the river. It was an effort to mend broken hearts and shattered lives.
It means more, and it hurts more.
A candlelight vigil at historic Marshall Park Wednesday night to honor those who survived the shooting and remember those who didn't.
These are people who were serving and protecting me and my family, and you and your family.
It was also a chance for many in the community to get to know the person on the other side of the badge and to take the time to try to understand their hurt and what officers are going through right now.
We are reminded of the ultimate sacrifice that these men and women make in the line of duty.
A message that didn't fall on deaf ears within the department.
This was the worst scene that I've ever been on. I've never seen anything like this.
The horror of that day ended with 8 law enforcement officers shot, 4 fatally, during an attempt to disarm a felon. The ensuing standoff lasted for hours until the gunman was fatally shot. For those living with the aftermath of Monday afternoon, there was help called in from miles away in the form of service dogs here to help bring comfort to those in trauma, especially those who were there that day.
One of the dogs leaned into the officer, just leaned his head up. The dogs absolutely know what they're here for.
Finally, officers were asked to light the candles and to pass the flames on to people who were there, signifying a solidarity and a trust between those who serve and those who are served.
Violence is undefeated in breaking hearts.
And just yards away from where I'm standing, yards away from where the vigil happened, is going to be the church where Josh Iyer is going to be laid to rest. That happens Friday at 10 o'clock. In Uptown Charlotte, I'm Ron Lee. WBTV, on your side.
Several victims remain in the hospital tonight after being shot outside their homes in West Fort Worth, and the search for a gunman continues. Last night's drive-by shooting injured a total of 6 people. The youngest victim was 3 years old. It happened on Las Vegas Trail. Neighbors told our Alicia Barrera they're simply stunned.
Good afternoon. Neighbors today along Las Vegas Trail just keeping a close eye on not only who's walking by, but also who's driving by.
Pierced metal and a penetrated door helped tell the story of the chaos that unfolded less than 24 hours ago.
I come outside. Little girl out here, I was like, man.
The father of the youngest victim confirming to NBC5 that his 3-year-old daughter lost her kidney. 19-year-old Octavius Tucker is still in disbelief. 5 kids and 1 adult were shot while outside in this parking lot during a drive-by.
Somebody need to be found, because them kids ain't do nothing to nobody.
Tucker's 14-year-old neighbor was the victim police say refused to go to the hospital. The teen showing us he's okay after his right leg was grazed by a bullet. Last night, Fort Worth Police Chief Neil Noakes not holding back.
It makes me sick to my stomach. You know what, it pisses me off.
And vowing to find the shooter. Neighbors telling us that while sirens, crimes, and police patrol is common along the 1-mile stretch of Las Vegas Trail,
It's a lot worse on that end than it is down here.
Councilman Michael Crane of District 3 says they haven't seen violence like this in years.
We've invested in the technology and the assets and really in the neighborhood and the people. And so what you see is working. Is there a lot more work to do? Absolutely.
According to Fort Worth police data for the Las Vegas Trail area, in March 2023, there were 53 cases of crimes against persons. And while this year there were 32 cases, neighbors today still uneasy.
We just trying to see what today gonna bring us. Because every day is something different. Every day is something different.
In Fort Worth, Alicia Barrera, NBC5.
Bullet holes and evidence markers are what's left of Thursday night's shooting outside this Eastern Henrico apartment complex. Police say it happened shortly before 11:30 and left 3 men injured and killed 37-year-old Anthony Eberhardt. Crime Insider sources say the gunfire happened during a cookout.
You hear shooting all the time.
Residents of the complex didn't want to go on camera, fearing retaliation, but say the level of violence has left them concerned, saying many single moms live there and their kids can't be kids. It's at least the 3rd shooting along a 2-block stretch of Delmont since April 19th. Otis, who didn't want his face shown, stays at a home near one of the earlier shootings.
Well, they had a whole lot of police, a whole lot of fire departments came by, and whoever the guy was, he fled.
He says the violence has gotten to the point the person whose house he stays at is looking to move, while he only goes outside during the day.
It makes me not leave it at nighttime. So whatever I do it in daytime, because at nighttime, that's when you hear the shooting. So
My first response, saddened and then angry. As we know, gun violence is a crisis. It's a public health crisis.
Fairfield Supervisor Roscoe Cooper represents this area. Cooper says next Tuesday he'll host a community walk, prayer vigil, and listening session in the neighborhood, saying it will be a joint effort to address the uptick in gun violence.
Gun trauma related to gun violence doesn't just impact the community that it happened in, but it in fact impacts us as the larger communities.
Otis says he doesn't know what motivates those who are firing the shots, but says he thinks they should treat others as they want to be treated. And for the sake of the rest of the people in the neighborhood, recalls advice his father gave to him.
Anything going around, you try to keep yourself best way from it, because he said no matter who they're shooting at, that bullet ain't got no name, that bullet can hit anybody.
And Henrico Police asking for any information that people can contribute to help with this investigation or for the recent shootings, which you can do so anonymously through Crime Stoppers or P3 Tips. In Henrico County, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.
As we come on the air at 5:30, we do so with a violent start to the weekend. 4 people shot in Hickory Hill in the business district overnight. One of those people sadly died. Fox 13's Lakia Scott joins us live from where that shooting happened. Lakia, you're still working to piece some things together as we learned in your last broadcast or your last report.
Correct, Daniel. When you first talked to us, we were in Winchester Court where some victims were located, but I just found out from police that there were also victims located across the street. This is Winchester, and this is actually 6564 Winchester, where they say that they located other victims. Again, we're still working to piece this thing together, but there are some reports circulating on social media that the shooting happened at a club. Now, police, they list that address as 3582 Kirby, but I'm noticing that that address is not the club location and actually comes up as a Mexican restaurant in the area. Police say they got to this area around 2:45 this morning. 1 man was pronounced dead. There were 3 other people who were shot. 1 other person is in critical condition, another in non-critical condition, and a 4th person, according to police, was taken to the hospital by private vehicle. Again, across the street from where I am right now, that shopping center, Winchester Court, that's where that club is at, that's circulating on social media. I spoke to that club owner. He told me that that shooting did not happen at his club. Let's listen to the club owner of Legends Lounge.
Our immediate parking lot, it didn't happen in our parking lot of Legends.
So it didn't happen over there?
No, nowhere near Legends Lounge. So, but like I say, it happened in the large part of the parking lot where you see where the food truck, it's a food truck, a couple food trucks that come out and try to, and do their thing. And so some people ordering food when the situation happened.
And again, 1 person dead, 4 total were shot. Police asking anyone with information on what happened here at these 2 locations to give them a call at 901-528-CASH. Daniel.
We're following a developing story out of southwest Philadelphia. Officers are investigating a quadruple shooting there. 1 person died, 3 others were wounded right around 6:30 this evening along South 51st Street. 3 of the victims are teenagers. Action News reporter Katie Catro joins us live at the scene tonight where police are still investigating. Katie.
Walter, that's right. And we just got an update from police. They do believe that this was some sort of a graduation party. And that's when they say a drive-by shooting occurred. At this point, police say they have another scene added to their list of investigations. They do believe that someone went inside of that home. And now that has also become part of their investigation tonight.
There were several people that were shot by gunfire.
4 people were shot just after 6:30 p.m. on the 1000 block of South 51st Street. Of the 4, police say an 18-year-old man is dead after he was shot in the face. Also shot are a 23-year-old man and a 17-year-old boy, both in stable condition. A 17-year-old boy was shot 4 times throughout his body. He's in critical condition.
It does appear that shooting occurred from both sides of the street. It's unclear who, if any of the gunshot victims were actually individuals who were shooters themselves. That's still under investigation at this time.
As police investigate, you can see a number of marked shell casings.
The crime scene consists of at least 25 or 26 spent shell casings on both sides of the 1000 block of South 51st Street. About 20 shell casings were found on the west side of the street, and an additional 6 to 7 shell casings were found on the east side of 51st Street.
Police say there was a family gathering at a home on the block with a lot of people inside.
To what degree that attracted what led to the shooting, it's unclear at this time. Based on the information that we have thus far, no one inside the home was shot. However, given the crossfire, several homes on both sides of the block were struck by gunfire, as were several parked cars.
Now, police say one weapon has been recovered, but no arrests have been made. Police are still out here late tonight looking for clues. Reporting live in Southwest Philadelphia.